Hey, what's up, my little Tattle Tells? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Cassie Cassandra Ventura, baby, you are letting everybody know that what are you talking about? I ain't get justice for the victims, baby. This is what civil justice looks like. We're also going to talk about this whole rumor going around about her NDA expired. And listen, we're going to get into that, but it seems like those rumors are all cap. It wasn't the NDA. Y'all, let's break down from a legal analysis on how Cassie actually, not even finesse, got justice from Diddy and why she opened up everything for future victims. Let's get into this, all right? So here's what actually first started it, right? Tony Herring said, she said, I heard that Cassie couldn't speak until the NDA was over. But that's sad that any woman would allow a man to treat them like trash for $1 because whatever he gave her to do those things, she was doing, she was broke. And that's why she's suing, because it wasn't that bad when it wasn't happening, because she should have been left. Okay. First of all, Tony, delete this comment. I'm sorry, I got to put you on the summer down screen, but no, that's not the way abuse works. But let's talk about why she's speaking up with the actual NDA and the civil and what is going on. Okay. First of all, a lot of people are saying that Cassie sued to protect her life. Let's talk about, before I get to the funny stuff, let's talk about the real stuff. If you believe the rumors about Kim Porter, if you believe the rumors about Puffy actually having the angel of death energy around him, if you believe that things happen to people around Puffy, and if you believe that Cassie was with Puffy for 10 years, Puffy was obsessed with her. That does not mean that he loved her, because again, I'm sick of people confusing obsession with love. He was obsessed with her. But you know what that is when somebody's obsessed with something. They will destroy it if they can't have it. Cassie knows a lot of Puffy's business, both what he did to her, but also she was around for 10 years. They were inseparable, what he did to other people. You really think that Puffy was not mad that Cassie literally is the only, well, not the only woman, but that Cassie left him and got the nerve to have 2 kids and be happy? You really think that Puffy didn't have her on her list like, yeah, all right, when we see Cassandra? Do you honestly think, if you believe all this mess about Puffy with the other stuff, and again, they are allegations, right? But if you do believe all this other mess, why wouldn't you believe that Cassie, by keeping her mouth shut, it was just running out the clock? Literally, somebody dangerous, if we can believe what's alleged, got beef with you because you left them. So maybe he is just laying on. Well, the stuff just happened with Kim Porter. That happened. Now the Tupac Biggie stuff. Maybe I got to lay low for a minute. But baby, I'm going to get you, because we all know that Puffy does not forgive, and maybe he goes after people. But they're saying that she actually did it to actually, she sued to also put a cloud over her, a cloud of protection. Why is that? Because if anything happens to Cassie after this, anything, she don't wake up, she got pneumonia, the car in the driveway goes kaboom, a roof falls in on her house, the first people everyone's going to be looking at, from the NYPD to public opinion to the feds, it's going to be Sean Puffy Combs. Not only that, her lawyer has evidence. But let's get into that evidence, and let's get into the NDA and the way people say Cassie should have fought harder, blah, 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 blah. Cassie did accomplish what she needed to do, both civilly and also for the protection of her family. She wanted her family protected. They now are. It is a civil trial. Let's talk about the NDA first, and then we'll get to the civil trial, right? Let's talk about the NDA. NDAs are lifetime. There is no NDA. You guys might be thinking about employment contracts, saying, okay, you promise not to share any trade secrets. NDAs by default go into perpetuity. That means from here on out into infinity. As long as it's such a thing as, it will continue. Puffy has one of the best legal teams in the business. Okay, which also makes it look like why he settled so shocking. Go watch my other video about that, because I go into the criminal things that Cassie might have known about. Okay, again, we're speculating, but sit down. This is speculation corner, right? But also, Puffy had one of the best legal teams. There is no way their legal teams, he didn't just get somebody that graduated from law school their first year, no shade, because even a first year law school student would know, or if you get it from LegalZoom, would know that the NDA would have to go on into perpetuity. Into perpetuity. And from that into perpetuity, he would always be protected. The NDAs do not expire. They never do. They don't. The reason that she was able to bring cases because there has been an act in California and in New York that temporarily lists the statute of limitations for some survivors of DV and SA. It's only going to be for a year. So, but they'll only lift it for a year, and you can bring old claims that maybe out of statute of limitations. That might have played a role, right? But let's talk about the civil case and why everybody thinks that she disappointed everybody with the civil case. How? What is the point of a civil case? Even Jason Lee, that tweet he did, really, like, again, we got, like, Jason Lee built an empire. He does what he does. Can't nobody, great. But the fact that you are literally, because Jason Lee used to be a union organizer, and the fact that he and a lot of people that are very, very smart and educated and know the difference are trying to say that there's something wrong with Cassie because she stopped in a trivial, she settled a civil trial. This is something that we need to pay attention to because, like a lot of lawyers have pointed out, you guys, how are you sad that in a civil case, the person got money? Civil cases cannot give out jail time. They can't prosecute. The whole point of a civil case, this is the whole point, is to tell your story. Get your version of facts out there. Have the jury or judge find you to be telling the truth, right? Find you to be telling the truth, and then you get awarded a heap load of money. That is the only reason people go to civil court. They want money, and they want, if there's criminal charges, which it looks like there may be coming up, we'll talk about that in the video, Puffy would have actually gotten, that's something different than Cassie. It has nothing to do with civil charges. There's a difference between the OJ trial. He was innocent in the criminal. Civil, they completely broke him and financed him. So let's talk about how Cassie somehow sold out, right? What Cassie actually did, okay? One, Cassie got exactly what you want to happen in the civil trial. In less than 24 hours, she released her filing. Her filing, when you read it, is 35 pages. She literally was able to get a lawyer so smart that she basically gave testimony that was not cross-examined. It wasn't torn apart. It wasn't, look, her character did not come into play. She basically gave 35 pages of testimony that is now being printed from here to Timbuktu. Puffy cannot counter. He cannot say anything. It'll be forever in public canon. You did it. You're an animal. Did you read that 35-page thing? She gave basically sworn testimony in her filing. She got her complete story out, her version of events, how she felt. And she avoided the messy court where they're cross-examining you. They're pulling up your third-grade boyfriend. Isn't that not like that the counselor being like, is it not correct that you were the one that wanted white fingernail polish? Maybe you were the one that were into this. Maybe Puffy is the poor innocent victim and you're on some eyes wide shut. You can laugh if you want, but you know lawyers do that all the time. They would have gotten Cassie in court, right? And tried to make it seem like she was the one, that she was Jeffrey Epstein to Puffy's poor victim by the time it was all over with. And DJ Academics and all those from the red pill community would have been yes, Cassie was always in this stuff. My boy told me this. My boy told me that. You know she would have gotten ripped apart. Now, I'm not saying she wouldn't have been victorious, of course, because come on. But she would have gotten ripped apart. Remember when Cassie said, I'm happy with the settlement because I got to tell my story and exert some type of control over the narrative? That control was once you go into court, once public media gets involved, once PR agency, once all that stuff gets involved, you can't control it anymore. And even though you might be victorious, it will take you through H and back. Think about it. She exposed everything she wanted to expose in her witness statement, in the filing. It was testimony. She exposed the corporations. She exposed security. She exposed the hospitals. She exposed hotels. She exposed everybody that was in cahoots. And she named them all, even down to the corporations. She exposed everything. And on top of that, by exposing everything, she put that cloak of protection because all eyes will forever be on Cassie. She can't be waking up from pneumonia, not breathing. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? The whole point of a civil suit is to get your story out, be believed by the public, right? And get your money. And to protect you if you think that you think you're in danger. And to right your wrong. Did she not accomplish all that? Even when you're saying, well, if it had dragged on, she could have helped other people, right? But she helped other people. Cassie did it more than 24 hours. Then a case, if Cassie had gone, the longer it would have dragged on. This is just my opinion. Diddy's people would have did a smear campaign. Like, instead of giving Cassie 20, 30, 100 million, he could have paid $1 million, which is still way too much. He could have paid $1 million, $2 million to a PR company to smear her campaign, to private investigators, to all that stuff. He could have did all of that, and it still would have been cheaper than the payout. And his reputation would have been intact. His reputation would have been there. He lost all that. He lost daily on tequila stuff. Naomi Campbell removed his pictures from her Instagram feed. Do you know how bad people must believe that even people that have been your friends, Naomi calls him her brother, removed his picture? The damage has been, if this had dragged out, other victims would have saw Cassie being harassed, being bullied, them digging through her garbage. It would have been a bloodbath. I'm not saying she wouldn't have been victorious, but you also would have saw that. To me, if I was a victim, this would inspire me. So Cassie walked in, said, what's up, shared a story, and walked out with generational wealth. And Puffy's being humiliated, and in the court of public opinion. And the only things Puffy cares about, which at the end of the day is his reputation and his money. The same things you use to victimize me, your reputation, nobody would believe, your power that you use to control me, and your money that you use to control me. And now I can take a bite out of that. Why wouldn't this? If anything, this is a fairy tale story to victims of what can come out if they speak about powerful people. I don't understand how people are like, had this dragged out, more people would have gotten involved. Y'all, look at every harassment suit. Look at every great case. Have you ever seen it dragging out and it ending well to the victim's mentality? Look, we just saw what happened with Meg Thee Stallion. Tory banged her because of a systematic campaign of misinformation that was paid for by bots and trolls. People believe that it didn't happen. People believe Meg paid off the DA. People believe the state of California was against a Canadian struggle rapper with a bad lace front and a worse attitude. People still believe, people drag over. You got that lame party making diss tracks. That is the reality to what happens to most women that speak out against people. And Tory Lanez wasn't powerful. People were just misogynistic and didn't like Meg's power. Tory Lanez wasn't powerful. Puffy is. Can you imagine? So when people say that that Cassie was selfish, Cassie entered that battlefield on her own. Wouldn't nobody hold her hand? She didn't know what was going to happen in the public. She went to protect herself and her family and to make the monster pay. And at the end of the day, everything that's supposed to happen in a civil trial, it happened. Everything that was supposed to happen in a civil trial happened. So what is the problem? Again, don't let these people that are already trying to run interference, because at the end of the day, they want a little bit of Puffy's money, talking about some, oh my God, you should have gone to court. No. Realize that these monsters only care about their money, their reputation, and their power. She hit them hard, early, fast, and got out with the spoils of the world. Shout out to Cassie. Shout out to Cassie. I will say, honestly, that at the end of the day, she not only came, she sought, she destroyed, mission accomplished. She moved at 0 dark 30, and baby, it was a kill mission. She ain't even tried. She ain't even trying to, it's just like boom, 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 right? Again, let's applaud her and let's hope that all these cases go. And the fact that y'all think that had she dragged this out, it wasn't any NDA holding her back. It was a law that just got lifted in New York. If you are a victim, please contact a lawyer. Maybe you will be the next Cassie. I'm all for it, right? People that think, oh, you got what you wanted, baby. You don't understand abuse. And even if you don't, why are y'all sitting there being like, oh, she was just this and now she's happy? Tony, I don't know on what mess that you is, and this isn't any disrespect, but why are we debating on whether Cassie was actually victimized when at the end of the day, Puffy, who actually victimized her, agreed with her and paid her? So I think we can put the rest. She was a victim. She was treated unfairly. How do we know? The person that settled it leads me to believe that he also believed it. Because if not, he had enough money to fight. Y'all listen, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. But I think Cassie did what needed to be done. The NDA, so all this, she protected her family. Again, if you believe some of those rumors about how dangerous he is, why would you not think that eventually in 2 or 3 years, Cassie might not wake up? Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, I am going to go live maybe tonight. Let me know if you guys want that. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.